my dear student. I welcome you in chapter 15, probability of
9
class
and
10 here.
10.
This chapter is very easy as well as interesting also. Dear student, but in this topic, in this chapter, somewhere you are missing some basic concept. That's why you are not able to perform the correct solution. So here in this class I am going to explain you, in this session I am going to explain you the small terms and want to draw your attention. So for your basic concept clearance view I am starting here. So here you can see on your screen. Here the basic terms, among them first is probability we are given. Now the question is, what is probability? Probability is a concept which numerically measures degree of certain of the occurrence of event. My dear student, if I am asking you one question, today the rain will go. Today the rain will go because of the clouds are there. So it shows the possibility. That is show the possibility of going the rain. But it is not surety. If it is sure event, then for that event we can say the probability is 1. Clear? But when this sure, it is not a sure event, for that we are not able to say exactly how much possibility or a probability of event happens. So right now, here we are going to study, same thing is here. Next experiment, an operation which can produce some well defined outcomes is called an experiment. Correct? Means we are randomly applying some experiments on the particular thing's occurrence. So whatever the results we are gaining, that is called the outcomes. Clear to you, dear? And that is considered as an experiment also. Now, random experiment. An experiment in which all possible outcomes are known, then they are random experiment. Second is trial, means performing random experiment, that is called trial. So here in this chapter we will come across different terms: probability, experiment, random experiment and trial. My dear student, these definitions will not be asked, but these definition or these terms are useful when we are really apply them in our words in the solution of the question. So let's see further. Now on your screen, the second topic which you are finding is probability of occurrence of an event. My dear student, here the probability of occurrence of an event. This is the topic. What is that? Now here PE, probability of the event, we are simply defined by PE, probability of event PE. So what is that? The formula for that is number of outcomes of favorable to event and total number of possible outcomes. When we divide number of outcomes of favorable to event with total number of possible outcomes, then we will have the probability of occurring event. Just let's take an example. What is the probability of getting head when we toss the coin? Of course, there are two options. Possibility outcomes when we toss a coin, there may be head or tail. There can be two options, head or tail. So we have two possible outcomes. So we need to write here two possible outcomes. Which are they? They are head and tail. And number of possible outcomes, how many are there? So head and tail, they are two. So there are two possible outcomes. The favorable outcomes or a outcome head will occur. Suppose we want to have the head as a result. So in such a case, only one option is there. Out of two, one option is there. And if I say the favorable outcome for the probability of coming head, then it must be one only. Okay, and total number of possible outcomes, they are two. So what is the probability of such a event? It will be 1/2. My dear student, this is quite easiest example which we are given here for our understanding. You need to keep four things in a mind. Which four things you have to required for solving any of the question? Keep it in a mind. First, one number. Find the total number of outcomes. Total number of outcomes. Then number outcomes. Only outcomes. Second is required outcomes. Third is favorable outcomes and number of favorable outcomes. Means four things are needed. I am repeating. First is needed outcomes. Second, number of outcomes. Third, favorable outcomes. And fourth, number of favorable outcomes. These four things, you keep it in a mind and we will work out upon that only. My dear student, here example of experiment, that is tossing a coin. When we toss a coin, then of course we have two results. It may be head or it may be tail. It may be head or it may be tail out of two outcomes. Out of two outcomes, which one will become as a result will be considered as a that is called the outcomes, and after that what is a requirement that we will put it in a favorable outcomes. Okay, so simple. When we toss any coin, there are only two options. Either it can be a head or it can be a tail. Clear to you? Now my dear student, here you are finding example of experiment tossing a dice. Okay, tossing a dice. You know very well, this is called pasa in Hindi, dice. A dice has 6 outcomes. It has 6 outcomes. The number of outcomes are 6. But which outcomes are they? 1 to 6. It must have 1 as a result, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so not more than 6. Okay, only 6 outcomes are there. There isn't any 0, there isn't any 7 for this outcome. Clear to you, dear? Now very important thing which you need to keep it in a mind, the sum of opposite surface, means sum of the opposite number on a dice, they must be always 7. This you keep it in a mind as extra knowledge. Okay, suppose I am considering this side is 4, 1 2 3 4. This is 4 we are given, so what will be its bottom part? Of course it will be 3. Always remember, dear student, the opposite sum of opposite sides here on a dice you must find, that is 7 every time. Means here this side 2, then it's the opposite side, that will be 5. 2 plus 5, 7. Then one more example, if I am considering this is 3, then just opposite of it you will find 4. Okay, here in the picture it is not given clear, but this is the real scenario, that the sum of other two opposite two sides it is given, the sum should be always 7. So my dear student, on your screen one more example for experiment is tossing two dice. You can find here tossing two dice together. Okay, so what are the outcomes? So just look at your screen. There will be 6 outcomes of each dice, means 6 into 6. So total number of outcomes will be 6 into 6, that is 6 squared, that is 36 outcomes. Now which are they? Because this result is very important to understand different questions. My dear student, there are two dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the outcomes from the first. Then here 1, 2, 3, 4, like that up to 6. That is also completed. So my dear student, here you can find here 1 comma 1 chances of results or outcome, that is 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 1 comma 4, 1 comma 5, 1 comma 6. Then in 2 second, if it is coming, then it can be 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 2 comma 4, 2 comma 5, 2 comma 6. These can be the results. Then 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 3 comma 4, 3 comma 5, 3 comma 6, like that. Okay, similarly you can find here 4 comma 1, 4 comma 2, 4 comma 3, 4 comma 4, 4 comma 5, 4 comma 6, 5 comma 1, 5 comma 2, 5 comma 3, 5 comma 4, 5 comma 5, 5 comma 6, 6 comma 1, 6 comma 2, 6 comma 3, 6 comma 4, 6 comma 5, 6 comma 6. So total number of outcomes, they are 36. Okay, now but how we are going to apply in different question? Suppose you are asked the sum of the outcomes is 6. Sum of the outcomes is 6. Such a type of outcomes, which are they? 6, you can see here 1 comma 2 making 6, another 2 comma 1 is 6, then 3 comma 3 gives the result 6, then 4 comma 2 gives the result 6, 5 comma 1 gives the result 6. So my dear students, such a way 5 outcomes you are finding here. In fact, one more is there, 1 comma 5 is also 6. Okay, 2 comma 4 is there, then 4 comma 2 also there, so this can be also possible 6. Any other option? Think about that. No? Okay. So it means that how many possibilities are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 must be there. One more should be there, that we need to consider the sum of those coming 6. Okay. So no, it will be 7 only. So outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 36. So result is 7 out of 36. Okay. So such a type of different questions you can be asked related to natural numbers. That is, you can ask for the odd number, even number. Of course, their sum also, maybe prime and composite also. Okay. Maybe the square. Here you can find the square. If I am drawing your attention, which are the perfect square? So you can see 1 comma 1 gives perfect square, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4, 5 comma 5 and 6 comma 6. So total number of outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means favorable outcomes, that we call favorable outcomes 6 out of 36. 6 by 36. So the probability for the event will become 1 by 6. Okay. Such a type of different questions we are going to study in this chapter, and let's try to make this chapter wonderful for you and easy for you.